It was a pleasure to be with you guys. Great to see such wonderful people, such great founders, brand ambassadors. Today is another monumental day, so I certainly will not be staying here long with you today. We do have the live show and we have the corporate webinar coming up thereafter. So, but as far as what has transpired, I mean, Jeffrey said it all actually, but we just keep getting better and better, right? Like that's just the bottom line, OnPassive just keeps getting better and better. And for those who are patient, for those who are loyal, for those who continue to stay the course, success is yours. I mean, it's just that simple. I'm shocked actually, when I see, one or two founders who seem to think that, I've had enough, I need to leave, I need to do something else, this is not happening. Like, are you kidding me, right? When we think about, what's out there, right? When we think about people who are struggling to pay their bills, right? People who are losing their homes, people are losing their jobs, all these things. And for someone to have OnPassive in their hands, right? You're on the verge of the biggest breakthrough in your entire life financially, and then you walk away. Like, are you going to a mental institution or something? Like, is that why you walked away? Like you understand, folks? What we saw in OConnect is enough. Like, that is enough. Like, people need to understand that. It is enough. If that's all we had as a company, it is enough. And we know we have more than that, right? And what we've seen is not even the best version of OConnect, right? So speaking of tops, like, I just don't know how you keep, going higher and higher. It's as if there's no ceiling, right? And that's what OnPassive is about, being unlimited. Like, we see the sky, but it's far up there, right? It's not that close, So we keep climbing and climbing and climbing and OnPassive. And that translates to something for us folks. This is not just about being excited and, oh, wow, that's nice, but it means something for us financially. It does. So you have to be able to put the two things together. You have to be able to put all that you're seeing, right? All the branding that's going on in Dubai. You have to understand, how does that translate into you paying your bills? How does that translate into you being successful in life, being able to leave a legacy for your family, for generations to come? You have to be able to connect that, folks. And I think people are just missing that. All people are seeing is, okay, that's a great show, that's nice, oh my gosh, that's exciting. And then it's like it just stops there, right? But it's more than that. This is the company to be in. This is the place to be. This is what you've been searching for all your life. When you thought that last business or opportunity or whatever it is you're in, you thought that was it, clearly you were wrong, right? Because this is it. OnPassive is it. OnPassive is breaking down boundaries. OnPassive is doing things that has never been done before. And we keep saying, for you to have different results, you have to do something different. And OnPassive is different. If we go back in time and just look at where we're coming from, just have a look at what 2018 was like for those who were with us then, and it is completely, like, it just doesn't come close to where we are today. You understand? Like, words don't even do it justice, to describe what we had in 2018 compared to today, right? When you go back to 2018, it's a completely different company, like just completely different, right? We didn't even have a website to begin with, right? We had 2 videos, an idea, a vision, right? But there were visionaries. There were people who actually said, you know what? There is something here, you know? Most people didn't fully understand what it was. They thought, okay, yeah, we're gonna jump into this thing and in 90 days, we're gonna start making some money and life is good, right? Not realizing that we are actually making a massive impact on society. Not realizing where this train was going, or even if there was a train, right? Now we know there's a train station, right? So I know you like that, Jeffrey, right? And so, right, when we think of 2018, you know, 10,000 people saw the vision. Now I wonder, are those 10,000 still with us today? Did they lose sight of the vision? Or were they really visionaries? We've said it so many times that being a founder is not for everyone. Not everyone can stomach the ups, the downs, the good, the bad, not everyone can stomach that. It's not for everyone, folks. It really isn't. So when someone says they want to lead, say, yeah, sure, this is how you do it. I give them the instructions. This is what you do. Okay, thank you very much. Have a nice day. Because OnPassive is the last business that you will ever need. Those folks will continue to search. They're going to keep searching, and they'll find something else, and that won't work for them. And then they'll find something else, and that won't work for them, right? If we look at our journey and we see from one top to the next top to the next top, if we look at our journey and see all of that, it's impossible for you to go somewhere else. It's impossible. It's impossible. If Stevie Wonder was with us, if he wasn't on Passivian, okay, he would be able to see one top to the next top to the next top, because it is clear, it is bright. It's impossible not to see it if you're paying attention, right? And this is what we have to understand, where we transitioned, you know, how we got where we are today. When we talk about, you know, having that entire building in Hyderabad, like that was like, whoa, right? We were all excited about that. When we saw the tour and those who were able to, you know, go to the actual location and went up and down all the different floors, you know, see the auditorium, right? Just seeing everything. And they were so excited. And we shared in that excitement, right? And then we had the old staff. Remember that event in Boston, right? Thereafter, we had Burj Khalifa, right? To see that amazing light show, just the fact that we are even in that conversation, that we're able to participate in something like that. There is no way you and I, any of us, would even have that opportunity to be able to promote our business, whatever that may be, on the Burj Khalifa. And here we are part of that story, right? And then we thought it couldn't get any better than that, right? And more and more and more things, right? The Dubai Mall, just everything, folks, right? And guess what? It got even better than that, right? So if we're paying attention and we see all these things, every single one of us should be excited. We don't need someone to motivate us. We don't need someone to come and encourage us. You encourage yourself just by reflecting, just by thinking of the journey. The journey is important, folks. It is important. You know, and I've said this many times, that so many athletes, when they win a championship, they always speak of that journey. You know, someone makes it to the NBA, right? You know how many kids dream about being an NBA star, right? Just getting into the league. And so many of them, the majority of them, those dreams are shattered because they'll never make it, right? And here we are. We've dreamt of success. We've dreamt of being in a situation where money is no longer an issue. We've dreamt of that, right? Being able to travel on our own terms, being able to spend time, quality time with their family, right? All these things that we dreamt about, buying that home, having that nice car, whatever the case may be, helping out great causes, right? We've dreamt about these types of things. What would you do if you had Donald Trump's money? What would you do if you had Bill Gates' money? What would you do if you understand, the list goes on and on. We've dreamt about these things, or how we would have done this different, and we would have given more, and all these things, right? And guess what? Our dream is now a reality because of On Passive, right? So when we think about all that, folks, we should all be excited about today, about what we're going to see today, about what we're going to hear today. And like I tell everyone, I always show up without any expectation, right? I never assume what it's going to be, right? I just come knowing that I'm excited because we're having a corporate webinar, and even more excited because we're using our very own OConnect. Folks, we have to understand where we're at in On Passive. We have to understand that life is about to be good. If it wasn't good for you before, right? If it wasn't good for you before, what did our CEO say? Get ready for what? The greatest shape of our life? It's going to be monumental. There's no doubt about that. Today's going to be a great day. That meeting is going to be fantastic. People are going to walk away feeling, man, am I glad that I stayed the course, right? Am I glad that I kept the faith? Am I glad that I didn't listen to the noise? I didn't listen to the chatter, right? Because sometimes, folks, we let things get into our mind, right? We let doubt creep in, okay? Doubt is always there. It always wants to steal your joy, always. But it's a choice, though. I can choose to let the doubt in, or I can choose to keep it out. It's a choice. Life is about making the right choices. And if you are in, and clearly you are by being on this webinar, you've made the right choice. On Passive is the best financial decision you've ever made in your life. Hands down, it is. On Passive is even better than the decision you made to buy that family home. It is. From a financial standpoint, it is. Okay? It's going to provide more for you than what the equity in that home has done to date. Okay? On Passive is going to blow you away. If it hasn't yet, it will. It will, folks. And this is not hype. This is not lip service. This is facts. Okay? This is facts. We are climbing to another top today. And so I can't wait to get on that webinar. Just can't wait. Right? Again, we have to just be reminded that we have the best of the best team in place, right? Mr. Ash Mufareh surrounds himself with the top, okay? The top individuals, and they're constantly, working on everything that we have, right? When we look at OConnect, the time that it has taken to put it together, it's really been a year, right? It's really been 1 year that the team has worked on it, and for us to have such a breakthrough product in such a short period of time is incredible in of itself, right? It normally takes years. Okay, we're on Zoom. We know it took 4 years just to bring up, 4 years for them to bring out that product, that single product, okay? And yet what we've seen thus far is above the value of Zoom, and it's really only taken the team 1 year. Prior to that, we had a different version. It wasn't what we have today. They scrubbed that and went back to the drawing board because, again, if it isn't the best, we're not going to put it out there in the marketplace, right? So for those who, talking about as consuming their data, et cetera, when money is no longer an issue, right? You're not worrying about data consumption and all of that stuff either, right? You'll be able to have proper devices. You'll be able to have proper service. It all goes back to our pocket. It really does. And so obviously the company is fully aware of the challenges that many will have technology-wise around the world in connecting and using OConnect, right? So the company is fully aware of that. So, we're going to make sure that what we have out there is user-friendly and pocket-friendly for everyone everywhere, right? So all of us can just know that anything that this company does is always in our best interest, okay? So we're good from that standpoint. And as, Gene and others have said, yeah, it's going to be an exciting time in the next, less than an hour, to see the show, and thereafter at 12:30 EST to have our corporate webinar with our breakthrough product again. So folks, it is just a time to be excited, right? That's what this is. This is celebration time. We've celebrated a lot of times in OnPassive, but I believe today will be special when we think of, even what's going on in Turkey and Syria and all of that, and how the company has stepped up, to help support, the relief in those areas. Again, that's another, exciting thing to see, because again, the company don't have to do it, right? But it's the right thing to do if you can, right? Always help your fellow human being, right? Help your fellow man. Like, this is what I love about OnPassive. OnPassive is always thinking with his heart. Okay, it's not always about the mind. It's not always about, business, but the emotion side of it, the human factor, always plays a role here in OnPassive, and I'm happy to see that. So I can't wait for announcements today, and I look forward to seeing all of you there. And, once again, I'd like to thank all the great leaders that are on here. Engineer Shashanta, you've done a very well job, a great job in your shows. And I'm always shocked and surprised when you invite me, simply because I know you have, great individuals here, Dr. Derek, Gene Oliva, Jeffrey Morlock, and the list goes on and on. Of wonderful individuals that you have surrounding you and your show. So just keep up the great work. OnPassive, is fortunate to have you and all these wonderful leaders, and that's what we're doing. We're collecting the top, right? We're collecting the top, not just technology, but the top people, top individuals, people who actually care about others, because in the end, that's what matters, right? In the end, you can have all the money in the world. We've seen people who have billions of dollars and they're miserable, right? They're miserable. You may see them, smiling face on camera, but behind closed doors, because it always comes out, right? It always comes out in the media as to some of the ugly things that's going on from a family standpoint. So OnPassive is putting together quality people, and I'm grateful to be a part of that. So thank you so much for having me today.